Well, welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. Along with Debbie Georgiani, I am Jerry Usher, and it is good to have you with us today. And we are going to present a topic that if you ever went to school, you'll be able to have something to say about. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Hey, Deb.
Hi, Jerry. How you doing?
Doing well. You?
Good. I'm doing great. We were at a beautiful home concert last night event. Eric Janis, amazing, incredible. And Bishop Olmsted was there, and he sends his regards. He says hello.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Love him. Great bishop. Great bishop you got there.
Yes, absolutely. It was amazing concert. I'm going to share more about that on tomorrow's show when we talk about what talent do you wish you had. You know where I'm going with this, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a musical instrument. Okay, but today's show, get ready, folks. This is super popular. It's one of we've done this, I think, 2 or 3 times because we love our teachers. And we are asking the question today, who was your favorite teacher and why? Who was your favorite teacher and why? You can also list the teacher that left the greatest impact on you. Maybe the greatest effect. It may not have been your favorite teacher, but it had a profound effect on your academic career, right? So we want to talk about that during, kindergarten all the way up to, graduate school. We want to hear your favorite teacher. Here's the number. Get ready. Here we go. 833-288-3986.
Well, we all do a lot of reminiscing, and with social media, it's become easier than ever to reconnect with those teachers that you really felt impacted your life and were among your favorites. We have an email from our good friend, our listener, John, we'll get to in a minute. He reconnected with his favorite teacher on social media. So what do you think about this? If you've been to school at all, any level, any grade, like Debbie said, all the way through kindergarten, all the way through grad school, any kind of schooling, we have those teachers who give themselves so much to us, dedicated, and they want to impart knowledge and wisdom to us. So if you could pick one out of all of those and say this one was my favorite, 833-288-3986.
And I understand that technically academic careers means like a position of being a professor or a teacher or something like that. But I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Don't we all feel like we've been in school forever? It's like a career for us. Kindergarten all the way up. Oh, I'm always in school. I'm always a student. I'm always learning. I'm always having to, start a new class and meet a new teacher. Well, there's those favorite, wonderful teachers that have left an impact on you. Share with us. Let's highlight our teachers. They form young minds. They help to enhance adult minds, right? That's what they do. They challenge us, and we learn something new from them each and every time we sit in their classroom. So let's give them the praise that they deserve. 833-288-3986. That's the number to be on the show, on air.
Other ways, you can email, like I said John did. John said, good morning, busy day at work, but I want to weigh in on this conversation as it brought up some good memories. See, talking about memories a minute ago. John says, my favorite teacher was a very kind lady named Cindy Thomas. She was very patient with me during my time in her class. I remember being in first grade and having a terrible stutter. She never made fun and was one of the few who made sure I wasn't held back because of it. I still have a stutter to this day, although not as prominent as when I was younger. It's one of the reasons I email, as speaking over the phone or in public is still nerve-wracking. We recently connected over social media, and she is still a teacher at the same school where I attended. She really is one of the best people in teaching. Anyway, just wanted to share. Have a great day. Your friend, John. And that's the kind of sentiments and calls and emails we're looking for today from you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So tell us your favorite teacher and why. We want to hear from you. Dial in quickly. This show goes very, very fast. 833-288-3986. And Jerry, I would love to share 2 special teachers. I've shared them before, but if you want to go first.
You know, I have just really been going around and around in my mind about this in anticipation of this show. I had a lot of great teachers in high school. Bob Suter, God rest his soul, he passed away too young. He was my 7th grade math teacher, and then he went on to be my varsity basketball coach. And also in college at Franciscan University, I had so many great professors, Scott Hahn and people like that. But Dr. Mark Miravalli, I think, was just so much fun and so just dynamic and vibrant. They all are really at Franciscan, but Dr. Miravalli he just has a special something about him, relatable, and so we had a great time in class. So I would probably pick him out of my college days. What about you?
Okay, that's pretty impressive that you had them as your teachers.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I love Dr. Mark Miravalli. Amazing. And Dr. Scott Hahn, yeah. Wow.
What about you?
You were very blessed. Name
I was.
Okay.
I can. No, I don't mean it to be a name dropper.
No,
It's just
I'm
facts
just
are facts,
kidding. You're right.
Oh,
I'm
well,
just teasing.
Let me. Another one that I thought of too, which is this is not name dropping
Pope?
because a lot of people won't know him. Dr. Ed Bessler was my biology professor, and I took him for human embryology. And you talk about energy and passion, and he would weave the faith into those classes of biology and human embryology in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So Dr. Ed Bessler, who I think recently retired at Franciscan. So there, I'm not just name dropping. Now the whole world knows him, though.
I'm just teasing you, okay? Because Jerry was in seminary, went to Steubenville, founded Vocation Boom for 10 years. So when I say a priest's name, he goes, I know that person. I was in class with that person. Right? So it's kind of a running joke we have. Okay, I don't have a lot of time to share mine, and they're not as well known as Jerry's professors, but 2 are from my Catholic school in West Caldwell, New Jersey, St. Aloysius. They both have passed away. One was, I mentioned this before, my 4th grade teacher, Miss Noreen O'Rourke. She died in a horrific car accident during the school year. She was wearing the macrame bracelet that I made her. I always felt like I was her special student, although she made everybody in the class feel special. And she died a very tragic death. In a car crash. It was a bad weather crash. And then Sister Regis, God rest her soul. She left the biggest impact. She was a tough Dominican sister, but she challenged us, and we got real strong in the 8th grade. So there you go. That's my 2.
All right, how about you? Favorite teacher and why? 833-288-3986.
Want the latest pro-life news? Want it delivered? Sign up. It's free. EWTN Pro-Life Weekly, your source for everything happening now in the fight to protect the sanctity of human life. New episodes delivered every week to your inbox. So if you really want to know,
sign up today.
Go to EWTN.com/pro-life today.
On the next Catholic Connection with Teresa Tomeo.
Hi, Teresa Tomeo here, host of Catholic Connection on EWTN. Our show is here to keep you connected to the world and the church. We do that by giving you lots of news, information, as well as encouraging ideas. We're helping you to truly make a difference by taking your faith beyond Sunday every day.
Catholic Connection, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
He was a Jesuit, a cardinal, and a doctor of the Church.
Matthew Bunson and the Doctors of the Church.
St. Robert Bellarmine is honored for his immense contributions to theology, including helping to draft 2 important catechisms that defended church teachings during the Protestant Revolt. Pope Clement VIII named Bellarmine a cardinal because, as the Pope put it, Bellarmine had not his equal for learning.
For more about the Doctors of the Church, visit doctorsofthechurch.com.
Well, we love it when you listen to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, but even more when you participate. And you've surely got something to contribute to this conversation, talking about our favorite teachers and the impact they left on us at certain points in our lives, any level of education. It could even be, doesn't have to be a school teacher necessarily. It could be Like in my case, I've had flight instructors, maybe it was a scout leader type of, mentor type of thing. Anyone who left that real lasting legacy on you, 833-288-3986. Deb.
And it doesn't have to always be a positive, like your favorite teacher. You could be the one that, like you said, left the biggest effect on you. Like when I was mentioning, God rest her soul, Sister Regis, she was tough. She yelled and yelled and yelled at us. She did. She just did. But she wanted the best out of us. She wasn't. She was a little bit angry. I'll be honest with you, but she really made us prepare. She got us prepared, Jerry, for high school. We were 8th graders, and she wanted us to take our schooling seriously, and she wanted us to take our faith seriously. And so she kind of pounded it into us verbally. But you know what? We all learned. We really did. It was a tough 8th grade, but it prepared me for high school.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Sounds like a great, beautiful bride of Christ as well.
Yeah.
Before we go to your phones, which we have many calls to get to, I wanted to mention we're in this year of St. Joseph. As you know, Debbie and I pray to St. Joseph at the end, the beginning of the show off the air, but on the air at the end of every show. And there are a lot of great resources that have come out during the last year or so to help us grow closer to St. Joseph. One of those is called Custos. It's by Devin Shadd. Custos is Latin for guardian, and this is a one-of-a-kind. It's a 33-day consecration and spiritual boot camp that helps men who are or will be fathers to continue the real St. Joseph, encounter the real St. Joseph, walk with him, and become like him. And this book provides a unique combination of daily biblical reflections based on St. Joseph, daily prayers, and spiritual practices. It's truly a powerful means to experience personal and relational transformation. And included with the book is a Custos Spiritual Practices Chart. You will find this at the EWTN Religious Catalog, EWTNRC.com, where you get free standard shipping for online orders of $75 or more in the continental United States. Just use the code FREE at checkout and get this great package of resources, Custos by Devin Shadd.
Okay, before we get to the phones, I'm going to give the number one more time because we have a couple open phone lines, 833-288-3986. And our friend Mary Beth from New York said, yay for the teachers today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Mary Beth, you're so awesome. Thank you so much. That's from Mary Beth is in Long Island. So real quickly, I just wanted to share, because you know me, Jerry, I want to make sure I don't have a guilty conscience because Sister Regis has passed on many years ago. Okay, folks, I felt like she was yelling, okay? The walls of our school, anytime anybody would raise their voice, it would echo. We had a lot of echo, so you could hear her all the way down the hallway. To me, it felt like yelling. It probably wasn't yelling, or maybe it's debatable. But I just want to stress it because she has passed on, and I don't want to say anything badly about a nun because I love the nuns. My aunt's a Dominican sister.
They have that reputation, and I don't mean that derogatorily. I mean the nuns have always taken the education and formation of our minds and hearts very seriously, and I think that's sadly missing to a great extent nowadays. So I don't think you were off base in saying that at all. I mean, I had a teacher like that, a professor here again at Steubenville, Sister Maria Regina Pachas, my Latin teacher, and she was one of the sweetest, kindest, people you'd ever meet. But when it came time, for class and studying and quizzes and exams, you better be ready.
She was strict. Yeah. That's how Sister Regis was too. Yeah, it's a great memory. I loved my Catholic education. I thank my mom all the time when I see her now regularly because she's on hospice. My mother Connie, and I thank her all the time. She probably doesn't pay attention to me anymore, but I'm always like, Mom, thank you for the Catholic education. Okay, let's move to the phones. Please call in and share your favorite teacher or that teacher that left the biggest impact on you. The first up is Monica in Addison, Texas. She's a first-time caller, and we want to welcome you, Monica, to Take Two.
Thank you. I wanted to mention the Sisters of His Divine Compassion that ran a school in Katona, New York. And I get emotional. Sister Mary Kenneth, who is now Sister Betty Ann Clifford, is 84 years old and beautiful, beautiful nun, taught me first grade to fourth grade. I had her for first grade and for fourth grade. These nuns taught us Christ. They taught us love. They formated our souls. And I'm forever indebted to their vocation to children and to our Lord. And I just had to call once I heard you ask about favorite teachers. And I'm still in touch with her, and she just learned how to work Facebook. So, and to FaceTime, which is wonderful. These beautiful, beautiful women who have dedicated their lives to our Lord and teaching children when we are so young, informing our souls and our hearts.
Wow, Monica, that's beautiful tribute, and it's cute. Like you said, she just learned how to use Facebook. That could open up a whole new world of reconnections for her. But as you're talking, I was reminded of the passage, where Jesus says, "Let the little one, let the children come unto me," and the way that little children come unto Jesus is through somebody else in most cases, and the sisters, the nuns, our teachers in Catholic schools, and even many non-Catholic schools, they are the ones who mirror Jesus. They reflect Jesus and they represent him. And this obviously touched you, and left a wonderful mark on your soul and in your heart. I think it's just absolutely beautiful.
I totally agree.
We cannot forget them. They're retired, and we don't have as many of the sisters in the school now, and they need our help. That they do need our help, whether it's just through a phone call, a letter, or even some financial help. But we have to let them know how much we appreciated them.
Well, you just did in a worldwide way, Monica. So that's huge. Okay. But Monica, I added for the prayer book, Jerry's professors at Steubenville and everyone else that's impacted his schooling. I added my teachers, Miss O'Rourke and Sister Regis. Can you give us the names so I can add the sisters to the book? You said it kind of quickly. I didn't catch it all.
Oh, well, when we were growing up, their names were Sister Mary. Her name was Sister Mary Kenneth, but she has gone back to her original name, and it is Sister Betty Ann Clifford, and they are the Sisters of the Divine Compassion, and they're in New York.
Sisters of the Divine Compassion.
Compassion.
Wow, and that's in New York.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even.
It's in New York, and so
awesome.
I believe they have a retirement community in Mount Vernon, New York.
Okay, nice. Oh, nice area.
Remember them in our prayers, and again, the love that they shared with us.
Absolutely. Well, we've got them in our prayer book, and so we start at the Take Two family.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for highlighting it.
So wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you, Monica. Appreciate that. Yeah, Debbie, I just looked them up online, and right on their website, they have a beautiful picture of these joy-filled, looks like the older sisters in the community, probably retired. They're all holding a rose, and the smiles on their faces just show that they still have that joy. They're still radiating that joy of Christ, of becoming a bride of Christ, probably in most of their cases 40, 50, 60 years ago. And still being in love with Jesus and having that joy in their hearts.
What does their habit look like? Do they have a habit?
It's hard to tell from the picture here, but a lot of them are dressed very similarly. But like I said, that smile on their face is just unbeatable.
Radiating. Yeah, beautiful. Great call. Thank you again, Monica. You're a first-time caller, so call us again, definitely, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay, we're going to move on to Tammy, and Tammy is in Kansas, listening on EWTN online, is a first-time caller as well. Hi, Tammy. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Tammy.
Well, my favorite teacher is a favorite teacher to many in my area, and that is Mrs. Barbara Vitt. She was my junior high English and Lit teacher, and then she was a high school counselor for us as well, and she just had a love for all people in her heart. And my father passed away when I was a freshman in high school from a car wreck, and she was very helpful with all of that. And then even when after I graduated, I asked her if she would have time one evening to help me with an essay that I was working on for a scholarship, and not only did she help me with that essay, I was getting late in the evening, and she knew I had to get back. Had a little over an hour drive to get back to my home at the time, but she went ahead and typed it up because I was running short on time, and mailed it off, and then mailed me a copy. I ended up getting a $1,500 scholarship because of her. It was
Wow.
She's just an amazing person, and just has a heart of gold. And her son was a teacher. He was recently inducted into the Kansas Hall of Fame for teachers, and then just a month or so after that passed away. And so she's had a kind of rough few months, or rough year, I would say, year and a half. But just an amazing person.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it. And Debbie always says on this show, we have teachers and nurses and people like that who call the show. And Debbie is always saying when they call, that we believe there's going to be a special place in heaven for such individuals. And this sounds like exactly such a person. And we want to get your father's name, Tammy, before we let you go, because we have a prayer book that we write names in, and we got Barbara's name in there as well, and we'll add you. But I love the fact that you said, even after you were out of, school, really no longer her responsibility or in her class, she still maintained that real deep care and love for you and helped you in that situation. And it even reminds me of my own high school principal, who to this day is one of the biggest organizers of we have all school reunions. We had such a small school, we can't have single classes. There'd be about 10 of us there. So he helps to organize. He's still very much a part of all of our lives, and I think, Debbie, that's just one of the beautiful things about teachers. They don't just spit you through the system and not care about you anymore.
It's a vocation. It becomes their life's work, right, Tammy? And it's just so beautiful when you see that they do their work and they do it well, because teachers do. They learn to teach well, right? But then when they go that extra step and they really connect soul to soul with their students like that, and they go the extra mile, it's life-changing. And you shared that.
Yeah, teachers are amazing people, and just, absolutely.
Amazing.
And my father's name is
Francis.
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 Okay.
Francis.
Great name.
And Barbara's son that recently passed away, his name was Chris.
Did you say Chris?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry about that, too.
Yes. Okay, we've got everybody in the book, and you, Tammy, and your whole circle. Remember, we spread everything out. Okay, the angels and our saints, they're just amazing, and they're there for us. So when we put special people in our prayer books, we also put the caller that calls in. So you're in, Tammy.
I love it. Thank you.
You're
welcome. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
call. Well, we got an open phone line there talking about honoring favorite teachers today, and we would love to have you participate in the conversation at 833-288-3986, 833-288-EWTN. And we got an email, if you want me to read that, from Carol.
Would you read Carol's? I was just pulling it up. I think it's just wonderful to share.
Yeah. And she goes by Cece, by the way. So Cece says, "Dearest Jerry and Debbie, what a great topic. One of my favorite high school teachers was Mrs. Ruth Gartner. She taught journalism. She took me under her wings, recognized the potential for some creative writing in me, nurtured my talents, and gave me incredible confidence. I grew into the position of page one newspaper editor for our high school paper, and to this day cherish that opportunity. My favorite grade school teacher was a Dominican sister, Thomas Bridget. She towered over all of her students, and in my imagination was about 10 feet tall. She came from an Irish background, and every St. Patrick's Day, our class had such a great time singing Irish tunes. She was a disciplinarian, and when she spoke, it was like E.F. Hutton. You listened. Thank you so much for allowing me to give a shout-out to these wonderful women in my life. Mega blessings to both of you, Cece. Well, back to you. Mega blessings back to you, Cece, as well.
That was a great email, Cece. Thank you so much. You know what I just was thinking real quickly before we go back to the phones? There's an open phone lines for you if you want to share or highlight that favorite teacher, 833-288-3986. I just thought of this. It just came to mind. You know, our Inspired by Faith book and fellowship club facilitator, Gigi, who's married to John. John's dad recently passed away. And John's dad was a guidance counselor in school. Do you know, Jerry, that John's dad was Gigi's guidance counselor? And then he became her father-in-law.
Is that right?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Yeah.
I just thought of that. I just love those stories like that. Isn't that cool? Because you never know how these people end up being part of your adult life. You know, I think that's the beauty of it. I've run into people at the department store where they'll come up and they'll say, "I knew you when," or "I knew you, when you were little," or so. It's so cool. And then you meet them, and it's like in the world, the universe becomes smaller and smaller. Don't you think, Jerry? As we get older.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed, and we're looking forward to you joining us here in this conversation today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We've got Kevin, who's going to join us next, live on the air from Pennsylvania. And phone lines open at 833-288-3986. Why don't you give a shout-out and a little bit of honor and praise to a favorite teacher you had in your life?
The heavy hitters of Catholic radio are on the new EWTN Open Line. Join Father Wade Menezes Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on EWTN Radio.
Have you ever heard of life coaching? It's not counseling. It's not spiritual direction. It's a method of working with a trained expert who can help you discover and live the purpose and plan for which God created you. And you can try it out for free at standtalltoday.com. We have assembled a team of world-class coaches, one of whom will be the perfect fit for you. But you have to make the first move by logging on to standtalltoday.com and signing up for your free consultation. That's standtalltoday.com.
This is Life Issues with Brad Mattis, president of Life Issues Institute.
A perfect storm may be brewing within the Catholic Church. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops voted to draft a document regarding whether pro-abortion politicians who claim to be Catholics in good standing should receive communion. 60 pro-abortion members of Congress signed a letter accusing the bishops of weaponizing the sacrament of communion. Congressman Ted Lieu of California took it a step further. He tweeted, "I dare you to deny me communion." When pro-abortion President Biden was asked about the situation, he responded with a defiant, "That's a private matter, and I don't think that's going to happen." I wouldn't be so sure, Mr. President. Those who support the killing of innocent unborn babies must be held spiritually accountable.
For more information, visit our website at lifeissues.org and stay informed. More informed than you've ever been.
Hi, this is Dr. David Anders. Do you have questions about the Catholic faith? Get the answers on Call to Communion, coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
We're talking about teachers that have left the biggest impact on you. Doesn't necessarily have to be always positive, although we love to share all the positive things that teachers contribute. My husband actually weighed in and said that he had a couple teachers in high school that really helped with his basketball, the love that he had for basketball in high school. But when he got to college, he actually had a coach that actually pretty much derailed his kind of budding basketball career. Because he wasn't, he didn't really believe in what my husband loved about basketball. So there's an impact, a negative impact that really changed Marty's direction. Now, I always say to Marty all the time, Marty, you should be glad you didn't become a professional basketball player because you probably wouldn't have met me.
Right.
I say that all the time. And he says, no, you would have gone, you know how those people, what do they call those, basketball groupies or whatever?
Groupies,
goes,
yeah.
Yeah, he goes, you could have been one of those. You hang around the courts. I said, no, hon, that wouldn't have happened.
You were more the one to hang around the golf course.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for understanding that. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying though. That's why teachers have such a vital role, a key role in the development of the young minds. Very, very powerful position to be in.
Yeah. Let's go back to your phone calls. Kevin is in Pennsylvania as promised, listening on the EWTN app. First time calling the program. Hi, Kevin. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I love your show. I like the topic today. I always have one particular nun from Sacred Heart in Queens, Sister Rose Hyacinth was the name, and she was an angel. The year before, in the third grade, I was falling through the gaps, and it was tough for me. I was almost in the failing part of most of my classes. And in the fourth grade, this nun took me. He took me, and she raised me up to the heavens. She would have me. First of all, I would go in the morning, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but I would go and get her bag waiting at the convent door when she would come out. I was picked special for her class, and all the kids would be going, sister, 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 and she would walk back and she'd go, okay, no, I got my stuff, and he's going to take it up. And we'd go up to the classroom and prepare the class for the day. And I got up extra early to do this. And this nun, she really took me from nowhere, put me up into like 95s and 100s on my marks. And I ended up with a class average of 95. You have no idea what that did for me, for my psyche and for my being, from what this nun did. And she's a special angel in heaven. And I love her very much, and I can't wait to see her one day. She looked like she was 100 years old when I saw her, but she was a real blessing. And that's my story.
Beautiful, Kevin. Thank you for sharing that. And I love the stories like you're sharing here of the teachers, especially in this case, the Sister Rose Hyacinth, who have their eye on those who may need a little bit of extra help. Maybe you're struggling a little bit, and it's not just a job, like Debbie said a few minutes ago. It is a vocation, and they see that vocation as not just to educate the mind, but also to help form your heart, to help form your soul, and to help form the person that you're going to be later on in life. And it sounds like that really has remained with you, and you wouldn't be the person you are today, I'm sure, without that. Debbie, what do you think?
I completely agree. And I just love hearing how you expressed your gratitude, Kevin. I think it's so beautiful because, I often wonder this. Maybe we need a teacher to call in. How's that? Teachers call in. Sometimes do you feel like you're planting seeds? Are you helping others? Are they ever going to remember? Are they ever going to, grow up to be adults and speak the way Kevin has spoken about Sister Rose? I think it's beautiful. And I just want to say thank you to you, Kevin, because I think we need more of these kinds of conversations. We need more of this. Because I think we're in a world right now where everybody's trying to, not everybody, that's a general broad brush there, but there's a tearing down of things. We need to build. We need to build. What do you think, Kevin?
Oh, most definitely. And this one particular nun was one of many through my Catholic career. Okay, because I did the Triple Crown, high school and college. And I have brothers that I could tell you things where brother bought me a pair of track shoes that I had. Mine were really worn out, and I was a good runner in high school. And I got a brother who gave me these shoes right before a particular big race, the Penn Relays, which we had a team in there, and we ended up winning gold medals. And I always say that's the story of this particular brother, Donald Richards, who went out of his way to see me and help me with this. And the end story of that was I ended up with a scholarship at St. John's University because of my running, of being a super fast run that day. And this is just this unique. And I have nothing bad to say ever about Catholic educations and slappings and this and that. If somebody got slapped, they deserved it, and nobody got beat up or anything like that. They were disciplined, and we were disciplined, and that helped me in my career. Unend. I was very successful in my career too, and all because of the discipline that was given, with the teachers in my Catholic education.
Beautiful. Yep, stayed with you all these years, and you even respect that discipline now, and that says a lot. Because a teacher, a student, you talk about a student in the Bible. Jesus' followers are called disciples. Disciple means a learner, someone who learns and absorbs. And Jesus wasn't always all smiley hugs and stuff like that. He would get on his disciples sometimes about their shortness, lack of faith or lack of understanding of what he was saying and things like that. So I think you have made a great contribution to the program today, Kevin. Anything else you want to add before we move on?
No, that would be it. I enjoy your show, and I listen to it every day. My wife passed away 2 years ago, about 2 days ago. It's been 2 years. We were married 45 years, and she also went to Catholic school, and she was my special angel, too. And we were married 45 years, and I miss her very much. And maybe you could put her in your prayer book.
Absolutely. Can you give us her first name? We're so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, Eileen.
Eileen. Okay. We've got Eileen in the book, and we put you in the book, your family, and we're here for you. If you need any, just kind of, a little pick-me-up, a little conversation, Kevin, we're always here. We're just an email away, okay? take2@EWTN.com.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Kevin.
Very well.
Love the sentiments about spouses. Reminds me of one time when I went to my nephew's wedding. I was going to be do one of the readings at his wedding, and they had a funeral at that parish shortly before that, during the week before that. Mm-hmm. And the pastor asked the surviving spouse, the husband, how long were you and your wife married? They were probably married. He was in his 80s, I think. How long were you married? He says, not long enough.
Oh,
isn't that beautiful?
Make me cry. Yes.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, so sorry for Kevin's loss, but the beautiful thing that love still remains, and the memories and the gratitude to God for having such a beautiful, beautiful spouse for all those wonderful years.
That is so beautiful. Wow. We have to share more of that. Actually, we're going to be on Catholic Answers Live tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
yep.
Tomorrow already. And we're going to be talking about relationships, right? 3 p.m. Pacific time. So maybe you can bring that up again. I think that is really beautiful. Would you remember that and bring that up again?
Sure. Be happy to.
Okay. We're going to move to the phones again. Michael McCall is answering the phones today. So if you'd like to get in real quickly before the end of this broadcast and share your favorite teacher or teachers, we're calling to you. You're probably busy. Okay, but maybe you're on a little bit of a lunch break. You can call in. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. We're going to Joe in Burlington, Iowa. Excuse me. First time caller. Hi, Joe. Thanks for waiting and welcome.
Hi, good. Enjoy your show. It's very invigorating to boost our faith. But I guess the teacher I can remember is Sister Margarita from our 8th grade class. A little short, 5-foot nun that kept control of the class amazingly. But I had a little problem with, I probably was dyslexic back then, but they didn't have special ed in the early 60s. So I can remember her telling me, you really need to get going on your spelling and stuff, or you're going to high school next year. And she would take me on Saturday morning, and we'd sit under the oak trees in their convent area that had lawns and stuff, and we'd go over spelling words. And I can remember, to this day, I kept leaving I out of beautiful because I had the problem. But then I went on, and because of her could see something in me, I went on, got a degree, ended up getting a master's degree, and taught shop class for 30 years. And then we got married, and now we have a son that's a priest. We homeschooled our kids. So there's a domino effect. I think that teachers don't realize or at least society doesn't explain it. It's like planting a tree. You really don't see it till 50, 60, 70 years later, and it's invigorating to have teachers that can see something in you and draw it out. Thank you, Sister Margarita.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do a show coming up. I don't have the date right in front of me, but I put something on the calendar, and the title of the show is When God Looks at You, What Does He See? We're going to ask the Take Two family to answer that question. And this is yet another example. It's so sad when just a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra effort on the part of the teacher, and then raising the student up to a level that the teacher sees, like you said, she saw something in you, Joe, and she knew that you could do it. She knew you could. She instilled in you that confidence. Look at the domino effect that has had on you. You know, a beautiful marriage, family, your master's degree, you taught, you have a son who's a priest. God alone knows how much of that, if any of it, would have happened or not happened had Sister Margarita, that little 5-foot, beautiful bride of Christ who cared that much about you, Joe. This is a beautiful testimony to hear coming from you today. Thank you for calling. Debbie?
Oh, I completely agree. Joe, I just wanted to say you said something that I marked down, and it's so true. And teachers, students say this all the time about that special teacher. They saw something in me that no one else recognized. See, I get emotional when I say that because I've seen teachers do that. I've seen teachers pull aside a student and say, Johnny, you're going to be this when you grow up. I can see it. It's amazing the gifts that they are given by God, and they have that ability to pass those on. And you're sharing all that. And I loved how you said the domino effect. Like in the tree, you don't get to see that robust tree for 50 or 60 years. Joe, you're spot on. And I just, again, I'm going to say it again. We have to have more conversations like this. This can help others to rise up and realize that their positions have influence, for all of eternity, actually. Because look, you have a son who's a priest, right, Joe?
Correct. Yeah, it's wonderful. I just want to thank you guys for keep our faith, keep celebrating our faith in a happy way, in a joyful way, and let it blossom out every day. You hear people call in, and we need more of that and not the negative.
So what we try and do, Joe, and you're the one who makes it happen. You and the other callers, like we got another Joe coming up, and Carol, and all of the Take Two family. So, Joe, thank you for the kind words, but we turn around and we give you the kudos as well for being a part of the program today. Great phone call, Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, can I share something real quick for our listeners? Mm-hmm. Okay. EWTN News in Depth. It's Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A discussion and in-depth interviews unapologetically examine and analyze important issues, news, and events from an authentically Catholic perspective. That is EWTN News in Depth. It's Friday night at 8 p.m. So if you're not doing anything on Friday night, check it out.
There you go. Okay. We have time for a lot more calls here. Let's see, what do we have via email? We have an email from Gloria, listening on Guadalupe Radio in Texas. Gloria says, Ms. Moon, my art teacher, she was eccentric in a good way, encouraging me to continue in art. Ms. Middleton taught gifted and talented class. It was a new class that started when I was in 8th grade. Back in the day, it was just that using your talents, your imagination. It was these two teachers who embedded in me my art, creative thinking. I am an artist. I always knew I would paint, and it is my time of solitude. She says, I have been working on my version of the Last Supper for some time now. Blessings. And that comes from Gloria in Texas.
Nice. Beautiful. Some people may not know this. I always talk about my big sister, Marianne. It's not that she's actually smaller than me. But she's the oldest. You probably don't know this. She was a high school teacher.
I did not know that.
Sister Marianne. Yeah. In Mendham, New Jersey. They loved her. She was so much fun.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah. So we have a teacher in our family. We have a lot of teachers, actually, but I always wanted to be a teacher. I had a big chalkboard in the basement of our house, and I used to pretend to play teacher. Did you ever do that?
I did not. I pretended to be a disc jockey, and then I went into radio.
Became one.
I became one, yeah.
You lived out your dreams.
I still am.
There you go. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, we're going to move to Joe in Rochester, New York. Station of the Cross is the way Joe's listening. Another first-time caller. Hi, Joe. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
You are
Go
welcome.
right
Go right
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just call. So I have a teacher, or my sister is a teacher. She's an elementary school teacher, and she's just really great with kids. She has 3 kids of her own, and I've seen her, work before, and she's just really, really good with kids. But I especially wanted to call today because just a few days ago, actually, unfortunately, she was diagnosed with leukemia, and the one thing she asked for was prayer. So when I saw you guys were having a segment on favorite teacher, I knew I had to call.
Yeah. Wow. That
First
sounds
name
like.
again. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
I need to put her in the book.
Yeah, we have a prayer book that we put people in. Joe, if you don't mind giving us your sister's first name. Sounds like she's probably still fairly young, got those 3 kids of her own. Do you mind sharing just her first name with us, and we can get the Take Two family around the world joining all of you and praying for her?
Yeah, so her name is Elizabeth.
Okay.
And I believe she's 31 years old, so she is fairly young. But yeah, she has 3 kids. She just had her 3rd kid just a couple months ago. But yeah, she's just really, I've seen her teach and just read stories to kids and stuff. She's just, everything she does with kids and is just really good. So,
Joe, does she practice her faith?
yeah, she's very faithful. That's, like I said, when she was diagnosed, the one thing she asked for was prayers.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she's very, very good.
Yeah. Joe, you carry the name Joseph, okay? In the year of St. Joseph, lean on your patron saint, St. Joseph, to help your sister Elizabeth, okay? Also St. Elizabeth. Joe, if you can get to your local parish, ask the parish priest if they know any. In Rochester, you've got so many. The relics are around you all in New York. So ask your parish priest if you can get a hold of a first-class relic and get it to your sister and see if your sister can keep it for a few weeks and actually sleep with the relic. So put the relic in a, maybe like a little, wrap it up in a cloth or a Ziploc bag or something and be able to get to know that saint that is with her. Can you do that, Joe?
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Okay, good. And I'm going to be praying. Yeah, I'm going to be praying that the right saint meets your sister and spends time with your sister, okay?
I really appreciate that. I know she will too.
Yeah. You're a great brother, Joe, and it sounds like she is a great sister, and may the Lord please, our prayer is that God will bring healing and restoration, especially for her 3 kids of her own, but also for the kids that she teaches as well. That'll be our prayer, Joe. Thank you so much for the call, and God bless you. Okay?
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough.
Very hard. Very hard. Did you? That really hit us hard. Okay, well, we're praying though. We are praying for Elizabeth. Did you see Clara at Houston, Texas? What happened to the phones?
I don't know. Clara was a teacher, actually, who called in, and the line dropped. But she was thanking us for this show topic today and saying what a difficult year it's been for teachers, and that certainly is the case. And so I made a note, Debbie, to put on the show calendar. Let's do a show on teachers who are getting ready to go back to the classroom, maybe sometime in August before school starts. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Clara from Houston, Texas, thank you so much for sharing that. We asked for a teacher to call in, and you represented the teachers, so we're so glad. Sorry that the phone call got dropped, but we do have time for maybe a couple more.
Yeah, 833-288-3986, the number to call to be on the program. And we do have Let's see, Pieta, beautiful name. I love that name, Pieta, in Lewis, Delaware, listening on Sirius XM 130, and another first-time caller. Hi, Pieta. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hi. I'm on the road, and I heard your show, and I have to tell you this and try to condense it. So a Catholic high school near Washington, D.C. was opened from 1960 to 1992 and had to close and got sold to the public school system. The graduates of 86 found out that the school would be demolished, and so they invited, through Facebook and through email, and despite COVID, they invited every girl who attended the school and every teacher who attended the school to come a couple weeks ago to say goodbye to each other and to say goodbye to the school. They put the teachers up in hotels so we could be there. They wined us and dined us. It was a full day of gratitude and love from these girls, women, from 1960 who attended from 1960 to 1992. So I'm just saying that it was just overwhelming how they expressed their love and gratitude for all that they received during their years of education there near Washington, D.C. So the thank yous come in a very different and a special way.
Yeah, boy, they sure do. That had to be a pretty emotional experience for all of them.
Oh, it was. It was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them there that just poured into the building, and you went from one to the other hugging, despite post-COVID. But so I want to say that sometimes you wonder if it makes a difference. Since with these 32 graduating classes, it really made a difference, and they were there to tell us that. So I'm just so grateful. It just filled my heart up for many years to come.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I can tell you, it's a lot of times, callers like yours, Pieta, and what you share, this is so very, very beautiful and touching that Debbie and I actually get a little bit emotional sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Debbie is right
I'm
now.
a mess.
It reminds me a little bit. It's not the same thing, but at a high school reunion, I got to go into my old high school. They were gonna tear that down and put an RV park or something there too. It's not quite the same dynamic that you're talking about, but it's just it's first of all, it's sad that the schools have to shut down, and in this case, I think you said was going to be taken over by
sold to the public sold to the
public
school
school
system,
yeah.
But now they're just destroying because it's falling apart. But so anyway, I'm just, as I said, the sentiment is just incredible. It's just incredible what these women did to thank and get everybody together. I don't want to take more of your time, but thank you for this show. I can't even believe I got to call you. So thank you very much.
Yo, thank you. This was a beautiful, and I'm just an emotional mess because I can just visualize it. I can just picture it. It got me thinking that when I moved from New Jersey when I was 18 to go to college in Arizona, and I went back to New Jersey 2 years later, the first thing I did was I drove to my elementary school just to see if it was still there. And then I went up to the door and to see if it was open, and it was. And I walked the halls of my Catholic elementary school. It just, I just had to do that. Why? I don't know. It didn't, but I just did. Yeah. So it has an impact, a lasting impact. Thank you.
It does.
Thank you, Pieta.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Lulu is watching on YouTube, says, favorites are a couple of elementary teachers named Mrs. Rivera and Mrs. Smith. She made us squid at lunch. And Mrs. Paz, she invited us to her home swimming pool. Michael J. says, my favorite teacher was Dr. Waxman in college. Took 2 humanities courses from him. Other teachers taught me how to make a living, but he taught me how to enjoy living. Jennifer had a couple 4th and 5th grade teachers. Alan, Sister Philip of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Boston in 3rd grade was his favorite teacher.
Wow, what a great show. We could do a part 2, but tomorrow we're actually going to be talking about talents. What's the one talent you wish you had? Be thinking about that, please, and then call in and share that talent. Maybe it's not too late to start picking up that talent, right? Well, we want to hear from you. Yeah.
Okay, until tomorrow, we wish you a beautiful and blessed day. Thanks to the show team, the affiliates, as always, and St. Joseph. Please pray for us. Amen.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
Part of the success we've had on the world over, I attribute to certainly my relationship